Saudi Arabia threatens to ditch dollar oil trades to stop NOPEC. The Saudis know they have the dollar as the nuclear option, one of the sources familiar with the matter said. The Saudis say, let the Americans pass NOPEC and it would be the US economy that would fall apart, another source said. Now, to give you a sense of the oil markets, oil is estimated to represent between 2 and 3% of global gross domestic product. At the current price of $70 per barrel, the annual value of global oil output is $2.5 trillion. Trading in derivatives such as oil futures and options is mainly dollar denominated. The top two global energy exchanges, ICE and CME, traded 1 billion lots of oil derivatives in 2018 with a nominal value of about $5 trillion. So it's 2.5 plus 5. It's a $7.5 trillion petrodollar. Just on the Saudis, they already have $1 trillion invested in the United States and hold some $160 billion in US treasuries. Now, I wrote this a few weeks ago in the context of Venezuela, but I was speaking about the petrodollar economy. If one accepts that access to oil defined 20th century empires and the petrodollar agreement was the key to the ascendancy of the United States as the world's superpower, and that petrodollar agreement was struck on a boat between President Truman and the King of Saudi Arabia, as you can see in this photograph. America's war machine runs on, is funded by, and exists in protection of oil, notwithstanding comments which denied. Threats by any nation to undermine the petrodollar system are viewed by Washington as tantamount to a declaration of war against the United States of America. Therefore, this comment by Saudi Arabia, they have the dollar as the nuclear option. Actually, they don't. And they should disavow themselves of that notion because of the reasons I'm telling you now. The Chavez revolution was always a rebellion in the superpower's backyard, and the machine was eventually going to bring it to heel by hook or by crook. They will bring Saudi Arabia to heel by hook or by crook, let me tell you. Mohammed bin Salman, who must be the one promoting this type of comment and is the alleged owner of the Leonardo da Vinci's Salvatore Mundi, which my friend Aidan Hartley says is a knockoff, a painting of Christ as Salvatore Mundi, Savior of the world, dated to 1500. The painting shows Jesus in Renaissance dress, giving a benediction with his right hand raised, 2 fingers extended, while holding a transparent rock crystal orb in his left hand. The rock crystal orb, of course, reappeared during Trump's visit to the Desert Kingdom. The Saudi king, of course, is called the custodian of the holy mosques, 2 holy mosques. MBS is also the proud owner of Serene, a yacht which he bought for 500 million euros in 2015 while vacationing in the south of France. Bruce Rydell alleges MBS sleeps on the Serene off Jeddah because he too lives in fear of his life. And now he should. It's typically a very bad idea to pronounce the ditching of the petrodollar, particularly in public. It did not end well for Saddam Hussein, who I call incredibly stupid because he was led by the nose into various wars which he couldn't win. And Muammar Gaddafi, who described himself as the cork in Africa, and he said, if you overthrow me, that you will take the cork out, and then all the Africans will swarm over the Mediterranean into Europe. But Sarkozy and others did not give that due weighting. So my point is that it does not end well, that this is actually practically an act of war. And the petrodollar economy for me is best expressed in this Andy Warhol $201 bills, which was sold for an incredible $43.8 million on Sotheby's. So my overall point is that if, you know, this is a geopolitical red line for eternity, and that the Saudis have just crossed it. And I think essentially, if the Americans think that this is a serious option, definitely the Crown Prince is gone. The question is the House of Saud?